you've said it's never too late to have a good childhood. What's that mean?
I feel like, and depending where someone is on their journey, whether they're not into this work or whether they're starting to get into this healing work, or just, seeing a post on Instagram and going, oh, that did happen in my childhood. And I do feel like that these days. Or you've been doing healing work for a while, it can be really easy to go into, well, I was a victim growing up, whether it be sexual trauma, whether our parents are physically, emotionally abusive, or just not there, not attentive to us. And so we can often just blame our parents and be in a state of continual victimhood and not really grabbing that and going, I'm going to have post-traumatic growth and I'm going to grow from this. We can often be like, well, I'm like this and I do this because my childhood was like that. I have these mental health issues because my childhood was like this, or I have the addictions because my childhood was like that. And that is totally valid. But at the same time, it's like, but I'm working on it. And so then you can go, okay, now it's time for me to reparent myself. If my parents weren't there for me, it's time for me to be there for my inner children. If I went through trauma, it's time for me to go back and heal those. And that's why if we can have, it's like I grew up around people, especially I went to a private school, and like all these girls are so level-headed and had their stuff together, and I was just wild. I was like getting like suspended all the time, and I was so naughty, and I thought I was cool, right? And I didn't realize it was because my childhood was so messed up. And so in going back and healing those, it's like I get to have the adulthood that I would have had if I was brought up in a really stable home.
Mm.
I thought I was dumb, like I failed at everything, and now obviously I've made a course, I've written a book, I've done so many things. I don't have my addictions anymore because I was able to go back and give myself the childhood that I didn't get and the support and love that I didn't get through the healing work.
Wow, that's very profound.
Thanks.
Yeah, it is. It's super cool. Like that last thing you just said about having the adult life that you would have had if you had a safe and supportive childhood, and you can create that. That's very cool and very empowering, and gives people a lot of ownership and responsibility to take into their own hands. Because when you're a child, you don't. It's not any of it's none of your fault. Like you didn't
Yeah.
choose this. Like you're just trying to do the best you can, and the people around you are also trying to do the best they can. I think that's an important note. But you have no control over it. Like you're sort of the there, and these are your caregivers, and this is what you got. But now you have some sovereignty over your life and can make some different choices and give yourself the adult life that you would have had, which is really cool. So